In this tutorial, we are going to export the maps and the print layout that we've generated as either or both PDF and JPG. That's as an image and as a PDF document. So let's get down to it. So when you open the QGIS map window, the document as usual, go to Project, go down to Layout Manager. You see all the map layers we have generated. We want to print all of them. So to make it easier to do your printing, you can select all of them and load them at the same time without doing it individually. Select the first, scroll down to the last, hold down the Shift key on your keyboard, select the last. Then press Show. It loads all the individual map layouts, so you have each one opened. Now you can see that I have lots of layout displays. So whatever I print, I'll close it and then print what's below it. So how do you go about printing? As usual, the tools are still here, but let's go about it the way that is a bit easy to follow. Go to Layouts, go down on the layout until you get to Print. You can print that way, but then usually I go for saving as a PDF or an image. This is export as image, export as PDF. So let's export as an image. Click that. Now it opens the folder where you now browse through to find the location where you want to save your output. Let's say map production. So map production, I'll save the output in this output folder. So the name is already there, but this is supposed to be the study area map that had the map of Nigeria and Brazil as well as my study site. So I can call it study area map. I haven't typed in the name, it's a JPEG. Say save in that folder. Save, it brings out this prompt that tells you the format. Are you exporting, what kind of resolution are you exporting as usually 300 dpi? And of course, the page paths, rather the page width is about 3,976 pixels. And of course, the height is about 2,707 pixels. So you can increase or decrease all of this depending on your specification, but I want to leave it as the default. So enable anti-aliasing. The bottom line is that I usually print with the default, so just say save. It has saved it. Now I haven't saved as a PDF, I want to save as a JPEG, I want to save as a PDF, still the same thing, layout, export as PDF. Still have to browse to that location that you want to save in. Study area, I want to have the same name, different formats. Remove the PDF there. Save. I usually accept the default still. And that's done. So I can afford to close this and then get to the second. Meanwhile, let's open the folder and see what it looks like. Is in downloads, net, study guide, my production, outputs. I might have to readjust that. Let's create another folder somewhere. Let's make this output. So let me copy these two out into PDF and JPG documents. These two. Cut. Paste. So that is what the map looks like, the story area map. So I can copy this, paste it in a document, or use it however I may. It looks congested, but basically it just tells me which state in Nigeria I'm working in, and of course the location of my study site relative to the states that I'm working within. Of course, you can now tell by the different colors how many land form units or geomorphic units my site contains. So I can close this. So I can copy that and paste it in my documents. This is the PDF file as it is. Basically the PDF file. So let's close this. Close all tabs. And then go back to the exports. So by now you should be able to know how to do this. Layouts, export as an image, save, or, well, let me cancel this because I have changed the location. Go up this output. So say save, save. Go back, export as PDF, save, save. So done. Go to the next, repeat the same process. Export as image, save, save. Export as PDF. The name, the file name typed in within a proper location. You save, and then you save. So this is basically how easy it is to export the maps you have produced. Export, save, save. You don't need to export as both. It depends on what you are working with. If you want to use it in your project so that you copy it and paste it in the project, then you need an image. If it's a document that you want to send to somebody via WhatsApp or any other social media, you use a PDF because usually if you use the image has a way of degrading net quality when you use it on social media. PDF still remains virtually intact. So when I want to send maybe to my supervisor a map, I usually prefer to go about it using a PDF rather than the JPG because the JPG's quality may degrade before it gets to the end user. So that's something you bear in mind. So that's why sometimes I save both formats because it depends on the one I use at any particular moment in time. Depends on my interest at that moment in time. So save, save, save all the PDF way. Let's close this. Something to bear in mind. I can see the boundary of Anambra State in this map, so I have to get back to it and see how that's missing. So I'm not going to save this. Not going to save this either. Not going to save this either. So basically this is how far it goes. And this is basically the last lecture in the GIS stroke remote slash remote sensing series. So subsequently we'll conclude the other lectures and then hopefully you'll graduate with the best of grades. Thanks for taking the time to walk on this with me.